Have you ever come across an actor who seemed to fit so seamlessly into his roles that you forgot you were watching a performance? That's exactly the magic Walter Brennan brought to Hollywood. With his distinct voice, folksy charm, and chameleon-like ability to embody every kind of sidekick, father figure, and comedic relief character imaginable, Brennan left an indelible mark on cinema. In fact, he is one of the most honored supporting actors in Hollywood history, winning 3 Academy Awards for Best Supporting Actor, a record that still stands. Many fans are surprised to learn just how versatile Brennan's filmography really is, stretching far beyond the westerns that first spring to mind when you hear his name. His on-screen persona was disarmingly warm and sometimes delightfully cranky, yet always full of wisdom and heart. Whether you are already a lifelong fan of classic cinema or you're just dipping your toes into these timeless films, brace yourself to discover why Walter Brennan remains one of Hollywood's most cherished character actors. Today, we'll dive into the top 10 best movies of Walter Brennan, so saddle up, settle in, and let's see what makes these performances truly stand out. 1. The Westerner. When film buffs talk about Walter Brennan's signature roles, The Westerner from 1940 invariably takes center stage. Directed by the legendary William Wyler, this film casts Brennan as Judge Roy Bean, a cantankerous yet oddly principled figure who declares himself the law west of the Pecos. Have you ever wondered what it might take to become so enraptured with your own sense of justice that you turn a dusty frontier saloon into your own private courtroom? That's the puzzle Brennan's character presents. What makes Brennan's performance particularly remarkable here is the nuance he brings to a role that could have easily been played just for laughs or for villainy. There's a sweet yet imposing authority to Judge Roy Bean. He's not entirely lovable, but you can't help but hang on his every word. Brennan's portrayal was so compelling and layered that he nabbed an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, his 3rd, in fact. Meanwhile, his chemistry with Gary Cooper, who plays a wandering cowboy named Cole Hardin, adds yet another layer of enjoyment. Their push and pull dynamic, oscillating between grudging respect and sharp conflict, drives the film forward. If you're looking to experience Brennan at the height of his talents, The Westerner should be at the top of your list. It stands out as a staple in the Western genre and a shining example of how supporting characters can dominate the screen. 2. Red River. Up next, let's dive into the sweeping 1948 Western epic Red River, directed by Howard Hawks. Starring John Wayne as the stubborn trailblazer Thomas Dunson and Montgomery Clift as his adoptive son Matthew, this film spotlights a grueling cattle drive from Texas to Missouri, an endeavor that tests everyone's mettle. Walter Brennan appears as Nadine Groot, affectionately known as Groot, the grizzled cook and loyal companion who offers both stability and comic relief in the face of tense father-son strife. Many fans were amazed to discover just how critical Brennan's role is to the movie's emotional equilibrium. Whenever conflict flares between John Wayne and Montgomery Clift, it's Brennan's witty commentary and moral grounding that often prevent the situation from spiraling out of control. Watching him shuffle around the chuck wagon, complaining about the hardships of the trail while remaining fiercely loyal, is pure delight. Did you know that filming Red River was an arduous adventure for the cast and crew? The production often battled brutal heat, dust, and even stampedes of actual cattle. Yet Brennan's unflappable persona on screen mirrors the practicality one would need in such harsh frontier conditions. His dry sense of humor and knack for turning everyday chores into comedic gold make Red River not just a gritty Western, but also a lively showcase of how a strong supporting character can add humanity to an otherwise tough, masculine story of ambition and pride. 3. My Darling Clementine. Switching gears, we arrive at John Ford's classic 1946 Western, My Darling Clementine. Here, Walter Brennan steps out of his usual sidekick or comedic role to portray the formidable Old Man Clanton, patriarch of the notorious Clanton family who square off against Wyatt Earp, Henry Fonda, and Doc Holliday, Victor Mature. Have you ever thought about how an actor's naturally warm presence might work when channeled into a darker, more intimidating character? In My Darling Clementine, Brennan proves that he can radiate menace just as effectively as he can evoke laughter. This film offers a fictionalized retelling of the events leading up to the legendary gunfight at the OK Corral. Brennan's old man, Clanton, is less of a kindly elder and more of a looming threat, determined to have the upper hand against the Earps at any cost. Many critics have noted how Brennan's subtle transitions, shifting from gruff fatherly moments to downright villainous intimidation, reflect his remarkable range. Meanwhile, the film itself is hailed for John Ford's masterful direction and poetic cinematography, capturing both the harshness and the serenity of the American frontier. If you're curious to see Walter Brennan break from the lovable old coot archetype, My Darling Clementine is a prime example of the darker side he could unleash when the script called for it. It's a testament to how even longtime fans can be astonished by what Brennan was capable of when given a role that skewed against type. 4. To have and have not. Are you ready to step away from the dusty frontier? In To Have and Have Not, released in 1944 and directed by Howard Hawks, we find Walter Brennan in a tropical and tension-filled setting, starring alongside Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. Loosely inspired by Ernest Hemingway's novel, the story revolves around smuggler Harry Steve Morgan, Bogart, who operates a charter boat on the island of Martinique. Brennan plays Eddie, Harry's alcoholic sidekick and loyal mechanic. While Bogart and Bacall's electrifying on-screen chemistry often takes center stage, Brennan's portrayal of Eddie provides an essential grounding force. He's the unassuming friend who, despite his flaws, reveals a heart of gold. Did you know that some of the film's most quotable lines, like the famous "You know how to whistle, don't you?" overshadow the subtle brilliance of Brennan's performance? Yet fans who revisit To Have and Have Not often walk away remarking on how Eddie's vulnerability and unwavering loyalty amplify the movie's charm. It's a prime example of Brennan's supportive but pivotal role in elevating the narrative, reminding us that big stars can shine even brighter when surrounded by a well-chosen, skillful supporting cast. So the next time you settle down for a noirish adventure filled with romance, espionage, and jazzy nightclubs, take a moment to appreciate how Walter Brennan steals scenes with just a few lines and a heartfelt gaze. 5. Rio Bravo. If you're hankering for more of Howard Hawks, John Wayne, and Walter Brennan, Rio Bravo from 1959 is a must-watch that many fans consider a Western masterpiece. You'll recognize Brennan as Stumpy, the cranky but lovable jail guard with a raspy voice and a bad leg. The film's central conflict revolves around Sheriff John T. Chance, Wayne, and his small team's struggle to hold a dangerous outlaw in jail despite the looming threat of the outlaw's gang. Think of it as a tense waiting game where everything could erupt at any moment. Brennan's Stumpy is a character who's impossible not to love. He's gruff, he's perpetually complaining, and he's fiercely loyal. Many fans were delighted by how Stumpy's spirited banter with Dean Martin's recovering alcoholic deputy, Dude, adds comedic relief without undermining the film's suspense. Whenever the tension hits a boiling point, Stumpy can be counted on to crack a one-liner or deliver a side-eye that helps diffuse the anxiety, even if just for a moment. Did you know that Rio Bravo is often cited as director Howard Hawks' direct response to High Noon, which he and John Wayne felt portrayed lawmen as too vulnerable? In Rio Bravo, the camaraderie among Brennan, Wayne, and Martin underscores a more communal, gung-ho approach to justice. For Western lovers, this film remains a goldmine of rich characters, sharp dialogue, and a dynamic range of emotions, elevated significantly by Brennan's spunky performance. Come and get it. Stepping out of the saddle for a moment, Come and Get It, 1936, demonstrates Brennan's versatility beyond Western fare. Directed by Howard Hawks and William Wyler, the film is set in the booming logging camps and lavish mansions of late 19th century America. The plot centers on Barney Glasgow, Edward Arnold, a successful lumber baron who finds himself torn between ambition, love, and loyalty. Walter Brennan plays Swan Bostrom, Barney's close friend and a hard-working fellow logger. Swan brings an everyman sensibility to the drama, and Brennan's performance earned him his very first Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Many fans were amazed to discover that this win was also the very first ever awarded in the Best Supporting Actor category. Indeed, Brennan's heartfelt portrayal of Swan contributed greatly to the film's emotional core. He exudes warmth and honesty, traits that contrast sharply with Barney's driven nature. Did you know that some behind-the-scenes friction arose during the film's production, leading Howard Hawks to part ways with the project before it was finished? Even so, Come and Get It remains a fascinating slice of Depression-era filmmaking that explores themes of wealth, regret, and friendship. Watching Brennan as Swan, you get the sense that he knew precisely how to ground larger-than-life storylines by tapping into the universal qualities that connect us all. 7. Kentucky. For our next feature, let's gallop into the world of horse racing with Kentucky, a 1938 drama directed by David Butler. Here, Brennan stars alongside Loretta Young and Richard Greene in a story about a long-standing feud between two families against the backdrop of Southern horse-breeding traditions. Brennan plays Peter Goodwin, a kindly patriarch and horse enthusiast whose life and legacy are deeply intertwined with his prized animals. What sets Brennan's performance apart in Kentucky is his ability to communicate the profound emotional bond that can exist between humans and their beloved horses. While the film is occasionally described as a light romantic drama, Brennan's portrayal brings a deeper sense of tradition, history, and connection to nature. He's not just another folksy side character, he's the heart and soul of the story, bridging gaps and soothing tensions with genuine warmth. Have you ever visited a horse farm and been struck by the unspoken understanding shared by trainers, jockeys, and the animals they care for? That's the feeling Brennan captures in every scene. Interestingly, the film was shot in Technicolor, a novelty at the time, allowing audiences to witness the lush Kentucky landscapes in vivid hues. For a taste of Brennan's signature paternal charm paired with a slice of horse racing nostalgia, this film certainly deserves its spot on our list. 8. Meet John Doe. Next, we explore Meet John Doe, a 1941 Frank Capra classic starring Gary Cooper and Barbara Stanwyck. This film takes a critical look at media sensationalism and how easily public opinion can be swayed by a powerful story, whether it's entirely true or not. Gary Cooper plays a down-on-his-luck baseball player hired by a newspaper to personify a fictional columnist, John Doe. Walter Brennan takes on the role of the Colonel, a quirky, philosophical drifter who tags along with Cooper's character. The Colonel embodies a curious mix of cynicism and hope, a perfect foil to Cooper's more earnest persona. Brennan sprinkles his lines with musings about the deceptive nature of society, frequently referring to the helots, his term for corrupt bigwigs and gullible masses alike. Have you ever felt disillusioned by the power of mass media or the sway of public opinion? Brennan's portrayal taps into these anxieties, all while delivering a light comedic touch. The Colonel's unwavering loyalty to John Doe adds heart to the film's exploration of how one inspirational idea can ignite a movement, and how quickly that movement can be corrupted. Watching this movie, you might ask yourself, where would we all be without a friend like the Colonel who's willing to speak uncomfortable truths? Meet John Doe remains a timely reflection on media, politics, and the power of belief, with Brennan's performance adding an unforgettable dash of quirky wisdom to the mix. 9. The Pride of the Yankees. Stepping up to the plate, we come to The Pride of the Yankees, a 1942 biopic about the life of famed baseball player Lou Gehrig, played by Gary Cooper. For many sports enthusiasts, this film is an instant classic, capturing the spirit of early 20th century baseball and offering a heartfelt tribute to Gehrig's enduring legacy. Walter Brennan portrays sports writer Sam Blake, a close friend to Gehrig who not only narrates parts of the story, but also provides emotional support as Gehrig's life takes a tragic turn. If you're a fan of baseball or moving underdog stories, this film has it all: romance, personal triumphs, and the poignant reality of Gehrig's battle with a debilitating disease. Brennan's presence as Sam Blake is comforting. He's the loyal confidant who helps the audience navigate the highs and lows of Lou's career. Many fans were touched by the sincerity and generosity of Brennan's character, who stands by Lou even in his darkest moments. Did you know that some real-life Yankee players and personalities appear in the film, adding authenticity to an already stirring narrative? From the dugout chatter to the iconic farewell speech, the pride of the Yankees tugs at heartstrings in a way few sports films can match. Brennan's portrayal ensures that friendship and camaraderie remain front and center, reminding us that heroes often shine brightest when supported by those who truly believe in them. 10. Sergeant York. Finally, we conclude our list with another 1941 classic directed by Howard Hawks, Sergeant York. Starring Gary Cooper as Alvin C. York, the real-life pacifist-turned-war hero of World War I, this film chronicles York's internal struggle with violence and his eventual decision to serve, earning him the Medal of Honor. Walter Brennan appears as Pastor Rosier Pyle, a guiding force who helps York balance his religious convictions with his sense of duty to his country. Brennan's portrayal is a masterclass in gentle wisdom. He's neither overbearing nor preachy, but quietly firm in his moral framework, nudging York toward self-reflection. Many film historians note how Brennan's presence fortifies the emotional authenticity of Sergeant York. While Cooper's performance rightfully garnered an Academy Award for Best Actor, Brennan's subtle influence is equally instrumental in shaping the film's moral backbone. Have you ever found yourself torn between two paths, uncertain of the right choice until someone you trust sheds light on the way? That's precisely the dynamic between Pastor Pyle and Alvin York. From the humble church gatherings to the intense scenes of battle, Sergeant York strikes a thoughtful balance between patriotism and personal conviction. For audiences seeking a nuanced war film that focuses on character development and moral questions, this is a timeless favorite. Brennan's heartfelt performance cements its place in cinematic history. Walter Brennan may have often been billed as a supporting actor, but as we've seen in these films, he was nothing short of a leading presence in his own right. There's a reason why so many screen legends, from Gary Cooper to John Wayne, benefited from sharing scenes with him. Whether he's the crusty old prospector, the salt-of-the-earth ranch hand, or the comedic relief that lightens the mood, Brennan consistently delivered performances that deepened a film's emotional core. He could be gruff or kindly, humorous or menacing, always with that characteristic authenticity that made audiences believe he was the real deal. Watching these movies today, you can't help but realize how crucial an actor like Brennan was to the golden age of Hollywood, a time when personality and craftsmanship combined to create enduring cinematic magic. So, there you have it, our top 10 best movies of Walter Brennan. Now that you've taken a walk through the frontier towns, baseball diamonds, and tropical islands where Brennan made his mark, we'd love to hear from you. Which of these films is your personal favorite, and why? Or do you have another Walter Brennan gem that you think deserves a spot on this list? Let us know in the comments. While you're at it, be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this countdown. Your support means the world to us. And don't forget to subscribe for more entertaining movie countdowns and in-depth discussions on classic cinema. From legendary leading men and women to the unsung heroes of Tinseltown, we've got plenty of exciting content heading your way. Thank you for joining us on this nostalgic journey, and we'll see you in the next video.